What's going on, guys? Ryan here with Jedha Patrol. Today we're going to cover, for you guys, the #1 fear and the #1 hope of every collector. Whether it's Funko Pops, whether it's Black Series figures, Marvel Legends, teacups, coins, hot toys, I don't care, whatever it is. Everybody has this fear, and they also have this hope, and it's happened a lot here recently, and I thought today would be a good day to talk about it. I started collecting about 3 years ago, and I started collecting with hot toys. In fact, I got a little special intro of that coming up with the next episode of Jawa, which, if you didn't know, is pretty much Star Wars and coffee. If you like coffee, you like Star Wars, definitely check that out. I'll put a link to the last episode up there. But we were recently talking about toys. The last episode was talking about our favorite Star Wars toys and kind of nostalgia and kind of picking stuff up. And over the past little bit, I've been a little salty about a couple things. I thought today would be a good day to talk about the #1 fear of collectors. If you've been collecting for any period of time, you probably have some pieces that have risen in value a little bit over time. And whether or not you say you care about value, you don't care about value, it doesn't really matter. Whether you sell them, buy them, trade them, whatever, none of that really matters. But to have something that you purchase for 10, 15 bucks, $100, whatever that value is, and to see it over time go up in value is always a good thing. It's a good feeling. It's like, hey, look, I made a good decision. Or, you know, now I don't have to go spend, if I paid $15 for it, I don't have to go spend $150 for it, $200 or $300 for it, because I have it in my collection, and I don't have to worry about that. So whether, you know, you can give me the hate comments and troll comments about buying and selling, whatever, I don't really care. But everybody, regardless of what you collect, whether it's Funko Pops, Black Series figures, hot toys, statues, coin, I don't care, it doesn't matter. Everybody likes to see something that they own kind of go up in value a little bit. It just gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling. Let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about here. So I have right here, not my phone, nobody's afraid of that. I have in my possession a couple items. So I've got this, I've got a Scarif Trooper hot toy figure, I've got this guy right here. You know what, we'll put him right there for the time being. I've got some Black Series figures. I got a little vintage Maul wave. I got a little vintage Anakin wave. I got this guy. I just got this guy not too long ago, actually. Got a whole video review on this guy, by the way, so we'll kind of bring him into the picture. There we go. So I've got some collectibles here, right? So I thought we'd start with, I tell you what, let's start with Funko, okay? Now, over the last year, collectors have seen Funko products that have been out for a while go through the roof in value. It's been crazy. I mean, for example, this particular pop right here, when it was first released, New York Comic Con, I think it was 2018, this pop right here was super hard to get. Super hard to get. And it was just one of those things that they released like 400 or 500 of them, something like that. And you had to be either in line at HBO shop for New York Comic Con, or you had to get it online. I bought mine on eBay, you know, that's where I got mine. But this thing right here rose from $15 retail value to over $1,000. In like 6 months, rose from like 15 bucks to $1,000. So people are buying, trading these things, and the people that owned them, I have one, or the people that were building collections or using them for trades and that kind of stuff, they were trying to set up trades for this particular pop for maybe some other grail type items they wanted to get. Maybe they don't collect this and they had it and they wanted to trade it for an ad icon Tony the Tiger that's like $400, $500, $600, or maybe some Freddy Funkos that are super rare, that kind of stuff. They want to trade these things. And or there's people who really, really wanted this, and they paid that $1,000 or $800 or $900 for that price when it was, because that's the sustained value at the time. That's what it was going for. And then all of a sudden, like 3,000 of them showed up out of nowhere because somebody had them in a warehouse, and they dropped on the marketplace, and you saw this particular pop go from $1,000 to $50. So when I'm talking about the number one fear of collectors is reissues or finding lost stock, lost inventory, kind of the same thing. So we've seen it with Funko. Hot Toys is jumping in the game. Hasbro absolutely jumping in the game. I mean, no question. I mean, they have the original packaging on the back of the packaging. So manufacturers, what they're seeing is they're seeing collectors and they're seeing the value of their products go up on the secondary market, and then they're going, well, you know, I think I can capitalize on that. I think I can make $1 or a lot of dollars, millions of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. I think we can, you know, capitalize on that, and they're kind of sucking the market, sucking the value out of the secondary market, and it sucks. It just flat out sucks. If the number one fear, guys, reissue. So this guy right here, if you were one of those lucky individuals who in March, April of 2019 was paying the $800, $750, $1,000 price tag on these because you really wanted it to complete your collection, and then they go drop 10,000 of these things on a website, and that $1,000 purchase you just made is now worth $50, how would you feel? I think some salt would be in order there. But by the way, they're making a Funko Pop ad icon of Morton Salt, so everybody would be very salty about that. I'm actually interested in that one. I don't even collect an ad icons. I want that one. I think it's great. We also saw with anime Funko Pops, right? We saw it with some other pops that had dropped out throughout this year where they did reissues. So they literally just took the mold, repainted it, threw it out there, and it's got a different little, you know, a barcode thing going on there. But it's essentially the same pop. So if you were holding on to that, or if you paid, you know, secondary market prices for that, and then you saw it drop like a rock, you're not very happy about that. So that's just one example as the Children of the Forest Metallic from HBO Shop. And then we've got Hasbro jumping in the game. Now Hasbro, no joke. I mean, I love these figures, you know, so I'm not even upset about some of this stuff. But if you look on the back, let's see, let's throw this one here. This is Anakin Skywalker. You see right here, we got the original packaging right there. So we've got that. That's the original packaging. If you were to go to a con and pick this up before this vintage card re-release was going on, it's $75, $100, $150, somewhere in that ballpark, depending on where you went. Maybe you got a better deal, I don't know, but it was hard to find. So Hasbro, stay tuned for this, because Hasbro is going to continue doing this. Hasbro saw the secondary market going on for these characters, Darth Maul being another one of them, which is an awesome character. I really need to open this and actually, you know, check it out, because they have 2 head sculpts. Pretty cool. But Hasbro is going to continue re-releasing figures, whether it's in Star Wars line or it's in Marvel Legends line. They're going to continue re-releasing these old figures, because what they're doing is they're capitalizing. It's a business move. They're seeing the older figures, the secondary market climbing, and then they're just saying, okay, we can go make $1. There's a market for this. Let's capitalize on it. Bam, let's drop 20,000 pieces, 30,000 pieces, whatever it is. And they're crashing the market. So secondary market wise, value collectors, you're getting screwed a little bit on that. So that sucks. But then I've got this guy. Now, this isn't the particular figure I wanted to talk about today, but Hot Toys is playing the game too, guys. Now, this is interesting. Spider-Man Homecoming comes out. Spider-Man's got the homemade suit and it's got the tech suit. I have the tech suit way back there, but I left it over for right now. That suit was going for crazy money as well. The homemade suit was going for $400, $500, $600. And then they said, no, we're gonna reissue that. So we've got a reissue of the tech suit, which they're calling the movie promo version for Far From Home. And then they've got the homemade suit, again, a reissue. And then out of nowhere this week, a Hot Toy Iron Man figure that was going for $1,000 all day long. $1,000. The Mark 47. They dropped a reissue of that, and it's coming very soon for like $370 or $380. Holy cow. That's just, so Hot Toys, you know, if you're collecting and if you're looking at your collection from not even an investment standpoint, because I'm not sure it's a great investment in general because of manufacturers and companies doing this, but whether the manufacturers jump in the game and reissue stuff, or companies, suppliers, distributors find lost stock or extra inventory, right? They're manipulating the secondary market on these things. Now, whether they mean to or not, I don't know. Hot Toys and Hasbro with these reissues are absolutely manipulating the marketplace. If you actually own the piece or you paid that $1,000, $800 price tag, and it's not like it was 6 months or 3 months. We're talking this figure was released like 2-3 years ago, and the market price has been established. It's leveled off. It's not like it's going up and down like this. That Mark 47 was pretty much hovering at $1,000, $900 for a long time. So it wasn't a fear-based purchase. If you were to spend that kind of coin on that, it wasn't, tomorrow it's going to drop. It wasn't going to happen. But then they go out and reissue the Mark 47 for $370, which, if you paid $1,000 for it, that sucks. So a fear of collectors, guys, these reissues is a big deal. But I kind of want to also talk about, so that's a fear. Do you go spend high dollar amounts on figures? Should you pay double retail, over retail for figures? Should you pay $200, $300, $400 for a Funko Pop? I will tell you right now, for me, 2020, I'm not paying anywhere over $50 for a Funko Pop. Ain't gonna do it. Not happening. I'm just not gonna do it. Now, 2017, 2018, I absolutely did. I paid $300, $400, $500 for Pops. I bought some older Game of Thrones stuff, super vaulted Grail stuff. I mean, I did that. However, unless, this is my tip for you guys, if you're talking about Funko for a second, unless that Funko Pop, okay, has a number on it, one of 500, one of 2,000, one of 700, whatever, unless it has a number on it, you are not guaranteed anything as far as value of this thing. It ain't happening. So I'm telling you right now, if you're into the Funko game, unless it's got a number on it, plan on being screwed and plan on being reissued. It's gonna happen, whether they move it to another shop. Now, like the HBO shop exclusive, it's not really exclusive. They dropped it in pop culture. It's overseas. There's nothing exclusive about this at all. The only thing exclusive is this sticker, and you could go print one of these if you really wanted to. So unless it has a number of 500, 2,500, 3,000, whatever that number is, I do not recommend paying over retail for one at all. So that's my advice for Funko collectors. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm just giving you what I'm doing. So that's the issue with reissues, right? However, we covered the number one fear, reissues, like, spending a bunch of money and they're dropping in price, number one fear. However, there is also a hope. There's always hope. Like in Rogue One, all we have is hope. The number one hope of collectors is also reissues. So if we missed out on something, we also want to be able to pick it up. So I've got this figure right here, this Scarif Trooper from Rogue One. I paid retail for this thing. I think it's like $220 or something. Good luck for getting one for $450. Less than $400 for this is a steal right now. However, I would love to have like 10 of these guys. If Hot Toys wants to reissue this, even though I currently own it, one of the hopes for collectors is that they will reissue figures. They will reissue the Mark 47. The Mark 46, I think, is the one next on everybody's list. They really want the 46 again from Civil War. I used to own it. I sold it. I'd probably buy it again. But an army build of Scarif Troopers, Death Troopers, right? All these different things. Spider-Man, maybe not the Scarlet Spider one. That one didn't go all so great. But the homemade suit they're reissuing doing great. Again, the 47, I think we would love to see some other ones. There might be one out there you're looking for, some older Batman figures or whatever. We'd love to see that. These things that are going through the price. The Mark 1 Iron Man. We need a die-cast version of that, by the way. We need that. But the number one hope, again, reissues. If it's something like this, even though, you might have missed out on it, maybe you want a reissue of it. Maybe you will, I don't know. So I think there's some hope for that as well. So that's another reason why I'm not really gonna be paying over retail or crazy prices over retail for pretty much anything. Not gonna do it. We want that, because if there's not a number tied to it, I'm telling you guys, these manufacturers are gonna remake them. So whether you're on the fear side of this or the hope side of this thing, the issue is the same, reissues. And I'd love to hear from you guys whether or not you think it's a good thing, a bad thing. For me, I can go either way on this one. It just, it just doesn't, I'm not leaning one way or the other. I do know that the Mark 47 is a very popular Iron Man figure. I don't know why. I can't figure it out for the life of me. When it was out retail for the beginning, like, it didn't sell out. It stayed on the Sideshow site forever, and then for whatever reason, it just started going crazy. I don't know. If I had to pick an Iron Man figure to get, I'd get this Mark 7, just saying. I did a whole video review on this thing. It is beautiful. If I had one Iron Man figure to get, it would be this one. Now, if they reissue the diecast Mark III, that one might take the cake. I don't know, but this one right now for me is tops. But I would love to see a reissue of the Scarab Troopers. I would love to see the Jedha Patrol TK14057. I would love to see a reissue of that. Just the clean Rogue One Troopers. I would love to see a reissue. I love Base Malbus. It's not a reissue. We just need them to make that one. But we would love to see this. So that's kind of where I'm at, guys. I'd love to hear from you guys. Like I said, the number one fear reissues, the number one hope reissues. Which side of the coin are you on? In fact, I'll put a poll up here, and you guys can let me know. You can vote and let me know where you're at. You're on you're pro or a con, where you're at, and I'd love to hear from you down below if you've had this situation happen to you, where you had something valuable and it dropped like a tank, or if you missed out on something and you really want to pick it up. So I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check it out. If you haven't already, subscribe down below. Definitely do that. I'll put a link to some of these figures in the description down below as well. If you want to pick up Iron Man Mark 7 for Sideshow, it is awesome. These guys right here, you can actually pick up anywhere. And I hope you guys have a great day. Collect what you like, guys. We'll see you next time.